happened during my last webinar. So I ran a HUNA and Access Conscious webinar last week, offered it for free. I had 50 free tickets. So I've been having a discussion on Facebook. I went back to those people on Facebook and invited those who said, yes, I'd love to take part. So they all got one of the free tickets for the event. Now, during the event, because we're clearing energetic blockages, we're looking at how people are feeling in terms of the emotions, the anger, the fear, the anxiety, the worry, etc. And then using Access Consciousness and HUNA and doing a blend of those two things to clear all of that and help people move on and have more clarity. And during that, one of the attendees had talked about losing a lot of business. So someone else in the thread said, well, have you thought about donations? And I said, yeah, you know, that great idea. Someone else then said, well, Marilyn, what's the donation link? And I said, what do you mean? They said, what's your donation link? Given that I'd done the webinar for free and people saying it was amazing, thank you so much, fantastic. And then everybody else started saying, yeah, send me the link, send me the link. So I then sort of sent them my PayPal me link. And while I was actually running the webinar, people then started making donations. I was like, whoa, well, that's never happened before. And I guess it's never happened before because I've never asked for donations, even when I'm running free events. And I have done a lot of those over the last 20 years. So interesting and really fantastic. And after the event, I still have people emailing me saying, hey, look, I've just, come off the webinar. Can you send me the donations link? Which was really, really lovely. With this webinar, I'm now looking at the platform a bit more closely, and they've got a donations button, but they've also got another option. So there are three options. One option is it's free. Next option, actually, then there are four options, aren't they? Next option, it's paid, and just put a price on it, and that's the end of it. Third option is I can put a price on it, and I can also put an option on that people can take part free of charge if they share the link. And then the system requires you to send a screenshot. And then once I've got the screenshot, I can then approve you into the webinar. And then the fourth option is donations. And that's one, I've had this platform for nearly 2 years now. I've used the donations button once, and I've used the attend for free or share it once. And I've probably run, I don't know, 100 webinars, probably more. And so I've only ever used those options twice, and that was just to test them out and make sure they work. So it's not really a model that I tend to use. But after what happened last week, I'm then thinking, right, I could either make sure that, because I've got to start thinking, because for the last 2 months, pretty much everything I've done has just been volunteering my time to speak and to write and to help people out and to answer questions. So I'm like, okay, got to start covering off the cost of running the webinars, hosting them, the platforms, etc. So I could use what I've gone for temporarily is just the option where I put a nominal fee, and I think I put $10 on or something just to fill something into the field, and the option of leaving it for free if people are like, you know what, it's a very difficult time, can't pay, would love to take part, I'm happy to share it. Or do I put it in terms of the donations bit, where in order to take part, you then choose the amount that you want to donate. So the way it looks like it's set up, I can put a suggested amount in, and then people can vary that in terms of what they actually want to do. So this is what the page, let me pull that up. This is what the page looks like at the moment. So I've just said it. So when you land on, if you were to land on the page now, it says, you can buy a ticket, or you can click on the other one and it says share to attend for free. So I'm really interested to know. And the reason I'm looking at these possibilities is because of what's happened with so many people who are not able to do their day-to-day work. I know there are people out there who are furloughed, they're still being paid, that's fantastic. And as I've been saying with the offers that I've put out with some of the programs and courses that I think will really help people at this time, I've put out the promo codes, but I've said in that, look, if you're still working, you've still got your regular income coming in, then just buy the course if you want to do it at its usual price. But if you're not, then here's the promo link, so I can just make things a bit easier for people. So I would love to know of those options. I think free I think is going to be off the table. The just choosing one price I think will be off the table as well, because that potentially alienates a few people who now find themselves in a challenging financial position. So of the charge a price or do it, you know, share it and come for free, or putting the option in where people can choose their donation. Which of those two options do you prefer? Really love to hear your thoughts. So you can put a note in the thread of this video if you're watching live or you're catching the recording, or you can DM me if you don't want to kind of have that conversation in public. But I'd really love to know your thoughts. Which would you prefer? I'm also probably going to go onto the thread because that's where I'm going to share the link first for the people who I've been talking to this week who said they'd be interested in attending. And I think there's close to 50 people who said that, similar to last week with the HUNA and Access webinar. I think I had 54 people show up for that one last week, so it sounds like it'll be a similar number, and I pretty much didn't give it anybody any time. It's like, I'm thinking of doing this, it's tomorrow, and with this one it's going to be on Saturday, so we've got a little bit of lead time. And what I might even do is maybe today launch with it's free, or you can you know, pay a nominal amount, and then maybe I'll switch it up from tomorrow and go with the donations option. So I could just switch it up and see what's what, but I'm just really interested to know, do you have a particular preference? If so, what would it be? Let me know. And in terms of letting me know, if you happen to be watching this kind of in a few days from now, you can also drop me an email. It's marilyn@transformationstm.com, and Marilyn is Marilyn, and then it's trance, TRANCE, formations, so starts F for Freddie, so FORMATIONS, TM as in trademarks, Marilyn@transformationstm.com. And also, once I've launched the webinar, I haven't done it yet because I'm still thinking about the pricing options and the structure for that. But once I've launched the webinar, you can go to my main website, which is transformationstm.com. And if you look at the top of the site, there's a red circle that says what's new. And if you click on that, a pop-out window comes from the side, and then it will have all of the recent events. So when I'm running teleseminars and webinars, workshops, and doing special offers, etc., if you go to my site, you can always click on that red button, and that's an easier way to keep tabs than trying to follow my Facebook page, my social media pages. And of course, I summarize all of that in my e-newsletters as well. And if you go to the website, on the top left-hand side, there's a box where you can fill in if you want to sign up for the e-newsletter, because that's where I put all the kind of offers and special deals that are usually different to the deals that I put out on social media. So you can sign up for that as well. But yeah, let me know what you think in terms of, what would be the way that you think you would like to attend this event. And what we're going to be doing on the event, I'm bringing in one of my favorite clairvoyants. So she's going to do a channeling. Her team are going to channel some information about, okay, what's going on at the present time, and how do we kind of best navigate our way through that. And she's also going to do a couple of individual channeled readings as well, which I think is really exciting. So for those of you who have signed up and you're there with us, we'll choose a couple of people that she's going to do channelings for. And once you've signed up, I'll let you know a bit more about that, because she likes to, when she's working with clients, all she needs is your name and your permission. So I'm going to have to sort that out a few days beforehand. And then what she'll do is she'll do the channeling for you. And the reason she wants to do it before, she said the channelings can be, because I said, oh, just keep it short, just a very short message, for each person. And she said, Marilyn, I know what you're saying. I can hear you. And she's probably told me this a gazillion times over the last 20 years that I've known her and that we've worked together. She said it can either be 10 minutes or several hours to do a channeling for one person. So when she's working one-to-one with a client, when someone books a session, before that session takes place, she will sit down her team and she'll explain to you about her metaphorical team. Her team will do the channeling. When you watch her, it's a bit like automatic writing. It's completely fascinating. And that can be a quick 10 minutes, or she could be doing it for several hours. And some of you have experienced this if you've come to the annual Mind, Body, Spirit Energy Fest workshop that I run the first weekend in December, have run that for the past 10 years. Gina does the channeled readings for everyone who's attending, and that can take her several weeks to do. And then everyone who attends the workshop, they're handed an envelope. I don't see what those readings say. Gina handwrites them, they go into the pack, she seals the envelope, and then when people arrive on the Saturday, everyone gets their channeled reading in terms of kickstarting the year ahead. So she's amazing, incredibly accurate. Her readings are always really insightful. And the first time I dragged her to an event, she'd never done anything like that before, was when I hired a cinema gosh, that must have been, when did The Secret, probably 2006, 2007, something like that. The movie The Secret came out. So I hired a cinema in London, a lovely hotel called the One Aldwych, and they have a private cinema. So I hired the cinema. I showed the movie because I really wanted people to see it. And then I thought, oh, it'd be really fun when people come, there's something to do. They can have a reading with Gina. And I remember the first woman, I said, you know, Gina's going to be sitting outside. If anyone wants to go for a reading, you're going to do it individually. And a woman said, oh, I'll give it a go. It's not my thing. So she walks out the room very sort of nonplussed. She came back in crying, and not in a bad way, just so moved, so moved. The next person went out, having seen her come back, it's like, oh, okay. She went out, she came back in just like, you know, jaw, mouth open, couldn't believe what had been said. And so since that time, I've been dragging Gina along to my workshops ever since. And yeah, we're 10 years in now, so doing the Mind, Body, Spirit Energy Fest. And of course, Gina goes out and does her own workshops as well now, which is fantastic. So that's who we're going to be working with. It's going to be a video webinar, not on this platform. It's going to be on my webinar platform. But if you have some thoughts about the pricing, let me know. Ideally, let me know now, because I want to get that launched. I'm going to first send it out to the people who I've been talking to on Facebook who said they're interested in attending. So I'll send the link out to you guys first, and then I'll put the details in my e-newsletter. So yeah, let me know if you have a preference. And if you are joining us for the clairvoyant channelings, then I look forward to working with you all on Saturday. Cool. Catch you later.